Well, Jennifer, you're still gorgeous. Are you here today to negotiate a business deal with your subordinate? An exceptional manager named Alex came up to us as we were passing down the hallway of our client's office. As I said, "Thank you for your support." "You're correct." He laughed and said, "It seems like the only job he can do is carry bags." Since I started working for the company, my 3-year-old supervisor, Jennifer, has been teaching me everything there is to know about the profession. Chris is my name. I have worked in sales for 2 years after joining a medical device manufacturing company after graduating from college. We came today to negotiate with a medical device wholesaler client, but we keep running into Alex. A woman whipped this pitiful man. "Man, you are a spiritless person." "Come on," he murmured, giving me a pat on the back as he went by. When Jennifer spoke up, I was choking and caught off surprise. Jennifer remarked, "Hey, that kind of attitude is not acceptable," in a forceful voice. "Pathetic," smirked Alex. "You're too forgiving." After saying this, he turned to go. "How are you, Chris?" Jennifer expressed her concern for me by saying, "That guy really irritates me." I said, "Officially, I want to get back at him someday, but he looks like a really capable guy. Perhaps that is the reason for his behavior. However, it's still not acceptable." Jennifer gave a nod of consent. "I'm fine," I told her. "I'll work hard to become competent and prove him wrong." I meant this. Our discussion proceeded smoothly because of Jennifer's easygoing demeanor, and we were able to secure the client's consent for the contract up until the manager's decision. After we described the contract to Alex, he ripped it up, crumpled it, and declared, "This is too costly. I am unable to sign this." After cutting it by 15%, it was thrown in the garbage. We were going to walk away, stunned, when he said, "How long do you intend to stand there? I'll buy from someone else if you can't find a way to cut it by 15%. Jennifer's fists were clenched in rage. "Jenny, let's return." "I'll get the paperwork ready," I said. After saying we were sorry to Alex, we got up and left. We heard someone yell, "Anyone, call an ambulance, please," as we were moving down the corridor. We exchanged glances before sprinting in the direction of the voice. Alex was laying face down, apparently unconscious, when we opened the door. "Please call an ambulance, Jennifer." I said, "I'll give first aid." Jennifer attempted to contact 911, but she was too agitated to do it properly. "Chris, what should I do?" "I'm having trouble pressing the buttons correctly," she replied, her voice shaking. "I'll do the counting." "Just relax," I answered. 9 to 11. She followed my instructions and was able to phone 911. I called out to Alex in the interim, but he didn't answer. I felt for a pulse on his wrist, but couldn't find one. I turned Alex onto his back to see whether he was breathing, but he wasn't. Rescue breathing and CPR were initiated, however Alex did not come back to life. "Someone, bring a defibrillator," I yelled. A startled staff member regained consciousness and proceeded to retrieve the defibrillator. It was swiftly brought by another staff member and given to me. The defibrillator is what I'm utilizing. As I got it ready, I said, "Please take a step back." Alex twitched when I used it. I heard his heart pounding when I put my ear to his chest to see if it had begun to beat. Now that she was a little more composed, Jennifer was telling the fire crew the name and address of the client's business. After listening to the emergency responders' inquiries, she questioned, "What should we do about Alex's condition?" I called Alex and gave him the rundown. Jennifer seems taken aback by my prompt action and my calm handling of the matter. I said, "For the time being, he seems to be okay," after verifying that Alex's pulse had steadied. "Please let us know if Alex takes any medications on a regular basis or if you are aware of any chronic diseases." I inquired with his subordinate, and they informed me that Alex was taking medicine for hypertension. After observing my handling of the matter, Jennifer came up to me and inquired, "Who are you?" You appear to have experience utilizing a defibrillator and life-saving measures. The paramedics showed up before I could respond, so I chose to inform them of the situation and walk away. Jennifer remained aloof in the car on the way back, not answering any of my attempts to strike up a discussion, and she appeared irritated that I had not responded to her inquiry. Well, Jennifer, you're still gorgeous. Are you here today to negotiate a business deal with your subordinate? An exceptional manager named Alex came up to us as we were passing down the hallway of our client's office. As I said, thank you for your support. You're correct. He laughed and said, it seems like the only job he can do is carry bags. Since I started working for the company, my 3-year-old supervisor, Jennifer, has been teaching me everything there is to know about the profession. Chris is my name. I have worked in sales for 2 years after joining a medical device manufacturing company after graduating from college. We came today to negotiate with a medical device wholesaler client, but we keep running into Alex. A woman whipped this pitiful man. Man, you are a spiritless person. Come on, he murmured, giving me a pat on the back as he went by. When Jennifer spoke up, I was choking and caught off surprise. Jennifer remarked, Hey, that kind of attitude is not acceptable, in a forceful voice. Pathetic, smirked Alex. You're too forgiving. After saying this, he turned to go. How are you, Chris? Jennifer expressed her concern for me by saying, that guy really irritates me. I said, officially, I want to get back at him someday, but he looks like a really capable guy. Perhaps that is the reason for his behavior. However, it's still not acceptable. Jennifer gave a nod of consent. I'm fine, I told her. I'll work hard to become competent and prove him wrong. I meant this. Our discussion proceeded smoothly because of Jennifer's easygoing demeanor, and we were able to secure the client's consent for the contract up until the manager's decision. After we described the contract to Alex, he ripped it up, crumpled it, and declared, This is too costly. I am unable to sign this. After cutting it by 15%, it was thrown in the garbage. We were going to walk away, stunned, when he said, How long do you intend to stand there? I'll buy from someone else if you can't find a way to cut it by 15%. Jennifer's fists were clenched in rage. Jenny, let's return. I'll get the paperwork ready, I said. After saying we were sorry to Alex, we got up and left. We heard someone yell, Anyone, call an ambulance, please, as we were moving down the corridor. We exchanged glances before sprinting in the direction of the voice. Alex was laying face down, apparently unconscious, when we opened the door. Please call an ambulance, Jennifer. I said, I'll be at first aid. Jennifer attempted to contact 911, but she was too agitated to do it properly. Chris, what should I do? I'm having trouble pressing the buttons correctly, she replied, her voice shaking. I'll do the counting. Just relax, I answered. 9 to 11. She followed my instructions and was able to phone 911. I called out to Alex in the interim, but he didn't answer. I felt for a pulse on his wrist, but couldn't find one. I turned Alex onto his back to see whether he was breathing, but he wasn't. Rescue breathing and CPR were initiated. However, Alex did not come back to life. Someone, bring a defibrillator. I yelled. A startled staff member regained consciousness and proceeded to retrieve the defibrillator. It was swiftly brought by another staff member and given to me. The defibrillator is what I'm utilizing. As I got it ready, I said, Please take a step back. Alex twitched when I used it. I heard his heart pounding when I put my ear to his chest to see if it had begun to beat. Now that she was a little more composed, Jennifer was telling the fire crew the name and address of the client's business. After listening to the emergency responders' inquiries, she questioned, What should we do Alex's condition? I called Alex and gave him the rundown. Jennifer seems taken aback by my prompt action and my calm handling of the matter. I said, For the time being, he seems to be okay, after verifying that Alex's pulse had steadied. Please let us know if Alex takes any medications on a regular basis or if you are aware of any chronic diseases. I inquired with his subordinate, and they informed me that Alex was taking medicine for hypertension. After observing my handling of the matter, Jennifer came up to me and inquired, "Who are you? You appear to have experience utilizing a defibrillator and life-saving measures." The paramedics showed up before I could respond, so I chose to inform them of the situation and walk away. Jennifer remained aloof in the car on the way back, not answering any of my attempts to strike up a discussion, and she appeared irritated that I had not responded to her inquiry. Since I had no other option, I told Jennifer my story. "May I tell you a little bit about myself, Jennifer? In actuality, I completed medical school prior to working for our organization. My father owns his own business in our area, and my family has a long history of medical professionals. My mother practices dermatology, he is an orthopedic surgeon, and both my brother and sister are medical professionals employed at a university hospital." "Really?" Surprised, she questioned, "Does such a family actually exist?" "I hope it doesn't. Despite being at the top of my class in medical school, I did not pass the medical licensing exam. I failed the surgical exam that I took. My father was incensed, accusing me of bringing dishonor to the family and branding me a disgrace. My mother attempted to defend me, but I left because it became too awkward at home. Since I never really wanted to be a doctor, I gave up on my dream." She remarked, "That's quite a story. But if you wanted to avoid medicine entirely, why choose to work at our company, a medical device manufacturer?" She said, "If you still want to be a doctor, why not give it another shot?" I was surrounded by her question and found it difficult to answer. Having a license does not obligate you to practice medicine. You could still work here after obtaining your license. I was reassured by Jennifer's words. "You're nice, Jennifer." "Thank you. However, passing the medical exam while working is difficult. In fact, I've come to terms with my fate." I made an effort to sound composed, but Jennifer's words lingered with me, and I began to think about retaking the medical exam. Everyone at the company was already aware that I had revived Alex after he collapsed. I was informed that the customer company's president had contacted to express gratitude. I was occasionally told that Alex was stable at the moment but required a thorough evaluation. I begged Jennifer to keep my medical school background a secret, and I told my coworkers that I understood how to operate a defibrillator since my family were doctors. But because I was irresponsible, someone from HR ultimately disclosed my educational history, so it eventually came to light. When other coworkers inquired as to why I had joined this organization, I simply laughed it off since I couldn't bring myself to tell them what I had told Jennifer. I was spoken about at work for a time, but after a month, no one brought it up anymore. The client firm called me right when I believed I could finally focus on my work. It turned out to be Alex. "Hello, it's Chris here. I'm grateful that you saved my life the other day. I'm able to return to work safely because of your prompt decision. I want to come see you soon so I can personally thank you. What time would be best?" "Oh," I said in surprise, "you don't have to do that. I'll verify with my manager." "I must talk to you, not your manager. Is it problematic for me to come?" "No, absolutely not. Hold on for a second." I put the phone on hold and informed Mike, my manager, that Alex wanted to come and express his gratitude. "Really? That's fantastic. Let's show him our products and give him a tour of the factory." He put extra pressure on me by saying, "Chris, be sure to lead him when he comes." I hung up and said, "Thank you for waiting," resigning myself. "We are excited to have you visit our office. Tell us a time and date that works for you, please." "I'm grateful. How about in a week?" "I don't want to interrupt now." He said, "I'm excited to meet you," and hung up the phone. With a heavy sigh, I walked to Mike to get directions for the visit. "I'll let you decide that. Even if there are small errors, Alex will most likely ignore them because you are his lifeline. Just commit our product catalog to memory. That should be simple for a medical school graduate," he concluded cynically. I made the decision to stop talking to him. After that, I spent my days at the showroom learning about our goods and catalogs and creating educational materials. As I got to know our products, I observed that they were different from the medical equipment I had used in medical school. I recommended changes to the product development team after analyzing the positive and negative elements. "Thank you for the excellent suggestions," they said. "Could you check out our other products as well? Given how little input we receive from physicians, your viewpoint is much appreciated. Please share any cost-cutting suggestions you may have." Although I never thought Alex's visit would result in all of this, I thought it was interesting and kept suggesting changes to the development team. The day finally arrived after the product presentation materials were completed and the tour route was set up, making sure everything was in order. On that particular day, President Johnson and the executives were anticipating Alex's arrival at the company entrance. "We're counting on you today, Chris," each CEO told me when I met them. "Be sure to effectively market our items." As the car bringing Alex pulled up to the entryway, I could feel the pressure. Alex got out with a cane once the driver opened the back door. "I appreciate everyone's hospitality. Is Chris present?" I was able to safely return to work because he saved my life. As each executive and President Johnson introduced themselves, he replied, "Thank you very much, but I have some after effects." I said, "Alex, it's been a while," because I believed he could find it difficult to stand for extended periods of time. "Let me show you to the reception area, please." "You're considerate, Chris. Thank you." Alex encouraged me to show him to the reception area with a smile and a kind pat on the back. President Johnson and the executives trailed behind, but Alex and I led the way. "Don't your company's big shots know how to host guests?" Alex said in a whisper while laughing. When I heard that, I couldn't contain my laughter and just said, "I apologize." I suggested to President Johnson that the factory visit be canceled because Alex was using a cane, and he agreed. A happy Alex, nearly indistinguishable from his previous self, apologized to President Johnson in the reception area for tearing up the contract the day he passed out. I acted poorly that day because I was feeling really ill and irritable. I'm sorry for what I did. Even if I had a lot of respect for a company that hires my lifesaver, I am unable to accept the contract at that price. I am unable to combine personal and professional problems because of my job. Please, let's try to come to an agreement that works for both of us, he added. I informed Alex that cost reductions were anticipated and that I had shared with the development team the improvement ideas I had come up with when putting up a product presentation. Alex remarked, "Then let's have a presentation when the product is ready," and walked out. President Johnson, the executives, and I all sighed with relief as his automobile slid out of sight. President Johnson gave me the afternoon off after I explained my conversation with the development team. I kept thinking about Alex using a cane when I got back to my place. I wondered if my first aid had contributed to his condition, and I felt guilty. I was restless all day because I couldn't ask Alex directly. Still distracted the following morning, I made the decision to look into possible side effects based on Alex's symptoms and prescription. I find my love for being a doctor after immersing myself in medical literature. Even though I didn't think I wanted to be a doctor, I suddenly discovered how I really felt, and my passion to save people as a doctor only got stronger. Until Jennifer invited me to dinner, I continued to think about it while I was at work. "You handled Alex's visit rather well. Let's throw a little party. This Friday evening, how about going out for drinks?" she recommended. My worries hadn't been as evident as I had assumed, which was a relief. Actually, I haven't gone out for drinks with Jennifer in a long time. It appears like I'll finally get to have some nice beverages because I recall receiving a lot of reprimands about my work in the past, but this time it doesn't seem like there will be any. Having said that, I eagerly anticipated Friday. When Friday finally arrived, Jennifer was waiting for me at the bar when I left work. "Oops, sorry, did I keep you waiting?" As I sat down, I said. Jennifer retorted, "I haven't been waiting because I only got here about 5 minutes ago. I'd want to order some beverages because I'm really thirsty." We discussed the day Alex passed out while ordering beers. It was a startling moment. Before Alex passed out, I was furious with the way he was treating you. After I tried to reason with him, he simply collapsed, Jennifer remarked. It gave me a sense of responsibility. It's odd. Even properly phoning an ambulance seems impossible during these times. I felt so powerless. As she said this, Jennifer had a somewhat dejected expression. Isn't it unsettling? Alex kept up his physical appearance and appeared to take good care of his health despite his advanced age. He didn't seem to have any long-term medical conditions. Although Alex has always been a little challenging for me, he was pleasantly happy during his most recent visit. He was using a cane to walk, and I felt sorry for him. I've been wondering if my emergency treatment caused his condition, I said. Jennifer gave me encouragement as I expressed my worries. What are you discussing? It's amazing that you were able to perform what you did under that circumstance. You shouldn't feel overly responsible because you aren't a doctor just because you finished medical school. Despite how poorly he treated you, you did incredibly well, Jennifer went on. Hey Chris, this may not be my concern, but have you considered going back to school to become a doctor? It is a calling to become a doctor. You saved lives, but not everyone can. It doesn't matter what your folks think. Forget about it. I made the decision to be open about how I felt as Jennifer gave me a sincere gaze. In fact, I've been looking into the reasons behind Alex's cane use. I'm concerned that I didn't provide enough first aid. I came to the realization that I do want to be a doctor while doing my study. Just wondering whether it's just because I'm curious about Alex's cane. Jennifer remarked, I knew it, with a knowing smile after hearing my story. You've been sighing a lot and lost in contemplation lately. It appears that you were worried about all of this, which is why I was wondering what was going on. She laughed. Was it really that clear? I made an effort to be normal around you. Was this the reason behind today's invitation? Jennifer chuckled. Exactly. I could see you were bothered by something. You know, you're pretty open. During lunch, I even noticed you using your computer to study medical conditions. Are you hesitant for a reason? I said, I had time to study for the medical tests when I was a student. However, now that I work full-time, I don't have as much time for studying. I don't want to leave a career I enjoy, and I don't have enough money saved up for a year off for studies. Jennifer answered, You can't live in doubt forever, but it's okay if you won't regret it in a few years. You can give up permanently if you don't succeed again. So why not make an effort to break through the ambiguity? It might be simpler to pass the time now. Although I knew Jennifer was correct, it seemed impossible to study and work at the same time. Jennifer said, If you're serious about becoming a doctor, why don't you come live with me? When I told this to her. During the week, I am at work. I have enough money saved up to sustain you for a year or so, and I can make dinner. I am also able to lend you money. You would have to squander valuable time cooking if you lived alone. You can move on without regrets if you put forth the necessary effort, even if you don't achieve. Her genuine care for me was endearing, but I was taken aback by her sudden offer and unsure of how to respond. I'm grateful, Jennifer. Thank you for giving my problem careful thought. I'll give it some thought during the week. Of course, I added, I'm inclined to take the test. I must evaluate my present level of knowledge, determine how to schedule study time, and think about how to manage it with work. That's what smart people do, don't they? Make a thoughtful decision. I just go for it because I'm not that smart. Why not spend that time researching rather than spending it overthinking? There is a way if there is a will. She said, I don't like to talk about it, but I've given up on many things in life, and her remark struck a chord with me. I don't want other people to give up because of this. You still have a shot, Chris. You should do it if you want to. You can let go if you put your best effort into it and it doesn't work out. You still seem to have some faith in your ability to succeed. With Jennifer's encouragement, I decided, I'll give it a shot. For a month, I'll work and study. If that doesn't work, I'll find another method. I may cause you trouble at work, but I must complete this task. Jennifer interrupted me in the middle and said, "You're always like that, aren't you?" "In what way is it novel?" "Start getting ready for the medical exam. I'll help you with your work and meals. I'm heading to your flat right now, first things first. In order to deliver you dinner, I must know where it is." She shocked me with something unexpected once more. "No, that is fine. There is a nearby diner and convenience store for dinner. You are welcome to bring food to work if you so like." I did my best to turn down her invitation to visit my residence. Is having me over really such a hassle? You know, I'm quite good at cooking and doing housework. I won't come, though, if it will divert you from your studies. Please know that I would be more than happy to assist if you are sincere about this. I'd immediately reassured Jennifer after noticing that she appeared somewhat dejected, as though I was disappointed that I wasn't depending on her. "Don't be down, please. I'm just so appreciative and shocked to have met someone who genuinely cares about helping me. Having someone like you to support me is a true blessing. One can only go so far on their own, but knowing that you care so much motivates me to work even harder. Jennifer, I will absolutely come to you for assistance. I am so grateful to you." "Can I have your apartment address then?" Jennifer held out a pen and notebook and asked. "Oh, you live quite close to me," Jennifer said after entering my address in her notebook. "It's astonishing that we have never met in the course of our commute." After finding out where Jennifer lived, I discovered that it was only a 15-minute drive from my house. "I live near a bus stop and usually commute by bus," I said. "You travel from your location via train, correct? Perhaps that is why we never met. However, we may have run into each other when shopping because there is a supermarket midway between our locations." "I go there often for groceries since I cook myself," she remarked, pointing to the supermarket on the map on her phone. "The cost and freshness are unrivaled. The deli goods are 30% discount, which is why I go there." We talked about places in the area and then made the decision to go home. We shared a taxi because we were traveling in the same direction, and Jennifer got off at her house first. Jennifer reminded me in the cab to begin studying the following day. After I got back to my flat, I started cleaning and reorganizing the space to make it a better place to study. I got ready for sleep with the intention of beginning my studies the moment I woke up the following day. I went to sleep thinking about these things. The doorbell woke me up in the morning. I checked the time, rubbing my drowsy eyes, and saw that it was just after 9 a.m. I ignored it, since I thought it might be the neighbor's doorbell, but it rang once more. Jennifer was standing outside with the packed lunch as I rushed to the door and opened it. "Were you still sleeping?" she taunted, inviting her inside. "Chris, you got motivation." "Yes, your place is neatly organized." "Last night, I reorganized and cleaned up in order to get ready for studying. Do you want coffee? I am also capable of making tea." "I'll do it. There's no need." "I've also packed breakfast, so let's share it." A healthy breakfast is said to enhance brain function, but you are probably already aware of that. Jennifer opened the lunch package while she prepared water. As she had said, the exquisitely prepared feast within was a testament to her culinary prowess. Jennifer started clearing away the dishes we had used after we had completed our breakfast together. I told Jennifer how much I appreciated it and that I was going to begin studying. Then Jennifer remarked, "I'll be leaving shortly so as not to bother you. Later, I'll return for the lunchbox. You are welcome to remain here if you have nothing else to do today. I can't offer much in terms of hospitality, though." Jennifer cheerfully accepted my offer, saying, "Really? That's fantastic. Going back and forth outside is too hot. I'll just read a book while sitting quietly. Are there any that I could read?" I gave her the book I had suggested. She said in surprise, "Oh, I was going to buy this book. This author appeals to me. Do you have any more of their books?" "Yes, I do have more. Since the author's debut, I have been an admirer." Before I sat down at my desk to study, I gestured to my bookshelf and said, "Feel free to choose any from here." Jennifer was reading on the floor when she appeared to nod off. She must have gotten up early to make the meal, I assumed, and I was thankful for her encouragement as I carried on studying. Jennifer abruptly woke up as lunchtime was coming to an end, and I was beginning to get hungry. Oh no, I dozed off. It's past midday. Please wait while I get everything ready, she remarked, beginning to make lunch. Thank you so much for preparing lunch. Thanks to your assistance, I was able to focus on my schoolwork. Thank you. Avoid bringing it up. After completing the lunch preparation, she said, "Take a break. It will be ready soon," and we shared a meal. Are you okay with staying here for the afternoon as well? When she asked, I replied, I'm totally cool with that. What if we had dinner at my favorite diner? I'd never asked Jennifer out to dinner before until now. Yes, I did have some curiosity about it. I'll let you choose the time, but let's go. Until then, keep up the fantastic work. I was able to concentrate on my studies all afternoon, and Jennifer made coffee and snacks around 3:00 p.m., which allowed for a well-timed break that kept me focused and productive. I recalled how, despite my best efforts and intense study sessions, I frequently failed to retain the material, which left me feeling nervous. With my current strategy, I felt more confident that I could handle it this time. But I decided not to let my guard down since I knew I had only just begun. We headed to my favorite eatery for dinner. I told Jennifer I was grateful as I was eating. I appreciate everything you've done today. I was able to study effectively because of you. I feel like I'd advanced more than I did when I was a student. Oh, I'm happy. I apologize. When I came over, I just ended up asleep. So that you can concentrate on your studies, I won't be coming tomorrow to avoid interrupting you. Your visit today was actually quite pleasant, and we discovered we have similar tastes in books, I added, appreciating her encouragement. Not even in silence did I feel uneasy. Feel free to stop by at any moment if you're comfortable with it. If you find cooking to be a hassle, you are welcome to cook at my house. I will even pay for the food. Are you asking me out? Her remark startled me, so I immediately shot back, no, that's not what I meant. Maybe, but that's not the time to consider that right now. Her cheeky comment flustered me. Jennifer dismissed it with a giggle. Don't stress over it. She acknowledged my agitated attitude and responded in a light-hearted manner. If it's not a bother, that's fine with me. We said our goodbyes in the diner after that, and I watched her go before returning to my apartment. Before I knew it, night had given way to morning after I had studied until I fell asleep. Jennifer helped me out by bringing packed lunches during the week, even if she didn't visit on Sunday. Work prevented me from studying throughout the day, but Jennifer covered all of my overtime, so I could concentrate on studying after I got home. After 2 months of this schedule, I started to get used to the new rhythm and saw an improvement in my academic performance. I came really near to passing after trying several previous exam papers. Even on other previous exam questions, I continuously received stable results. Despite the fact that these marks weren't comparable to my school days, I felt happy and accomplished. It was a huge accomplishment for me to be able to maintain consistent grades in a setting other than the unrelenting hardship of my student years. I told Jennifer about my development and how happy I was. Compared to when I was a student, I'm performing better now. I assured her, I think I can pass the medical exam in another 6 months, even though the scores are a little lower. Jennifer answered, I'm very happy to hear that. It's fantastic if I'm able to assist. I recalled how she fell asleep from tiredness the first time she brought lunch to my apartment. Her resting inspires me when I'm feeling overburdened by my studies. I told her, it's nice to have someone to work hard for. After that, she would come over once a week to help me cook and encourage me when I wanted to give up. Remembering her commitment gave me the strength to persevere. I made the decision to use all of my remaining leave for the last push 2 weeks prior to the exam. By then, everyone at work knew I was going to take the medical exam, and even my boss, Mike, was on board. Jennifer helped me out by making supper during the week and staying over on the weekends, even though she didn't take any time off. I finally made it through the medical examination. I immediately gave Jennifer a call to break the news. She was crying on the phone, so I thanked her and asked her to dinner the next day. We were notified by the product development team that the enhanced product was prepared. After getting the documents ready, Jennifer and I went to show them to Alex. We were shown straight to Alex when we visited the client. I asked for input, while Jennifer and I went over the cost savings and product enhancements. We were able to complete the transaction when Alex and the responsible party both authorized the contract. Please convey my appreciation for the hard work and development, Alex replied. I noticed that he seems different from when we last met, maybe as a result of Chris's advice. More assured. Has something occurred? Chris, why don't you tell him? Jennifer encouraged me when we looked at each other. I made the decision to tell the tale of Alex's fall. I discussed my choice to go back to school for medicine, my passing medical exam, and how Jennifer had been a devoted support system all along the way. Alex remarked, I see, upon hearing this. I didn't mean to cause you any anxiety. Unrelated to that occurrence, the cane was used because of a back injury. Your first aid was excellent, according to the emergency personnel. I might not be here without you. You ought to have self-confidence. Hearing this made me feel as though a burden had been lifted. From the beginning, you two appeared to be the ideal pair. Got together at last, huh? Alex made fun of us. So, what are your future plans? Will you quit the company to pursue a career in medicine? When this subject came up, I chose to talk about my future intentions, even though I hadn't yet discussed them with Jennifer. Being a doctor is my chosen career path. I want to help sick individuals, and it's also a way for me to give back to Jennifer for all of her kindness. Jennifer gave a nod of consent. That's good to hear, but we'll miss you at the company. Mind your own business, Jennifer snapped in response. I'm in favor of anything he chooses since it's his life. Chris, improve Alex's attitude and become a fantastic doctor. All of a sudden, the employee beside Alex started laughing. We were all caught up in the moment and joined in, laughing together. We left the client's office after getting the contract and returned to our business. I talked to Jennifer in the car. I apologize for not telling you sooner about my decision to become a doctor. I had intended to speak with you about it sooner. It's all right. It's your choice, and all that matters to me is that you don't regret it. Thank you, but before I regret it, I have one more thing to say. Would you be open to dating with the intention of getting married and living together for the rest of our lives? Jennifer seems completely taken aback, likely not having foreseen this at all. Yes, I will, she finally responded. I suppose I should begin preparing to resign. If we both depart, I wonder who will handle the sales. My wife and I have been married for 3 years, and she continues to put in a lot of effort in her sales job every day. I'd approach my patients with thankfulness, recalling how Alex's breakdown served as the impetus for my current position.